Now to that major breaking news about TikTok, the company's CEO telling employees the app's parent company, ByteDance, has signed binding agreements to create a joint venture, majority owned by American investors. NBC's Savannah Sellers joins us now with more to explain this. Savannah, could this signal the end to that, I guess it's been years-long fight about the ownership of TikTok in America? What do we know about the investors here in the U.S.?
It really could, Tom, and that's a big deal because we've had so few details and nothing really concrete here. Here's what we know about the investors so far. There's going to be three major ones that they named: Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX. They're each going to take a 15% in this new company. It's called TikTok USDS joint venture. And then a 30%, this is what's interesting, will be existing investors of ByteDance. That is that parent company of TikTok that is Chinese company, and that has been the major concern here. And then also, to comply with the law, just under 20%, they say, will remain ByteDance ownership. That's exactly what the law said. Only 20% of either Chinese, ByteDance, or any foreign adversaries could own a piece of this. So that's what we know right now. It leaves a lot of questions, though, Tom, about a lot of vague numbers. Who's going to make up the rest of those percentages?
Do we know anything about the personal data? Because that was the big concern by many members of Congress, including some in the Trump administration right now, whether the Chinese could use this to spy on Americans.
Absolutely. It was actually President Trump that brought it up himself in his first term as a concern. And he also, we saw it pass out of committees with total bipartisan support when any of this legislation was on the Hill. So it's a great question. What they say they're going to do about that, and again, details remain scarce, but the company does say that there's going to be a trusted security partner, they're calling it, to essentially do an audit on the data. And then after that step is completed, Larry Ellison's Oracle, who's already been managing the data for American users, will take that over in a more robust way. That's the plan now.
And then finally, will the algorithm change? Will the app change? Will you have to re-download it?
So what it seems to me, as someone who has reported on this for a long time now, is that this would be a plan that means the answer to that question is no. It means that they get to operate business as usual because what they're essentially doing is making sure that they are compliant with that law. However, my big questions again are, what is the rest of this list of investors that keeps that foreign adversary ownership below 20%? Is it in fact compliant with the law, and does that mean that it gets to remain for users? We'll see.
Okay. Savannah Sellers, thanks for breaking it down for us. We appreciate it. We thank you for watching. And remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.